to my YouTube channel. I'm Alexa Graves, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the 2 steps that I use to conquer fear in any situation. Do you ever notice that fear tends to pop up anytime you go after something that you really, really want? Your brain will start to make up a million excuses about why you don't deserve it or you're not good enough, etc., etc., etc. This fear can actually cause you to start to believe that these things it's telling you are true and stop you from going after the things that you really want. I'm going to start off by telling you a story of the first time that I can remember facing a really big fear. And I warn you, we're going like super far back with this. We're going all the way back to when I was 6 years old. I spent most of my childhood in a really small town in northern Canada. In this small town, there was this hotel that had this like 5-story high water slide that looped around the outside of the building, and it kind of coiled outside of the building and back in, and then eventually led back in towards the indoor pool at the pool deck in the hotel. So I'll tell you about my first time going to the water slide. So one day my cousins were visiting from out of town, and my dad and my uncle took me and my cousins to this water slide. So we get there, we put on our bathing suits, and we head out to the pool deck, and I think to myself, okay, I'm just gonna ease into this and like splash around in the pool a little bit first. And so I swam around in the pool, and the longer that I stayed in the pool, the more that I started to think about that water slide. And I looked at the stairs that led up to where you'd have to go, and I was like, oh shit, that thing, this is scary. And the fear started to build up and build up and build up, and like I was 6 years old, so this was like a big deal. But I didn't want to be scared about it because I had been so excited to finally be here, and my dad finally took me to this water slide that I was so torn because I really wanted to go down it and experience it and do what like the big kids were doing. And when I got there, I was so scared. So I was definitely feeling some inner conflict here. Eventually, after swimming around for a bit, I got up on the pool deck and started to walk towards the water slide entrance, and my dad was with me, and I just told him, I was like, Dad, like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, it's really scary. This is a huge water slide. And he told me, well, do you want to be brave or do you want to be a chicken? And I was like, I definitely don't want to be a chicken. That doesn't sound good. I want to be brave. So, in my head, without responding to my dad, I remember this so distinctly. Like, I kid you not, I have very early memories, and this one is just super distinct in my mind. So I remember that at this time I made a promise to myself in my head that I would go down the water slide because I wanted to be brave, and I had been waiting for this chance for the longest time. So I walked up to the water slide, and on my way I asked my cousins if they were going to come too, and they didn't want to go on the water slide, and I was really disappointed that they didn't want to go with me. That's okay. They probably don't even remember this. So I made the decision, I made a promise to myself that I needed to go down this water slide, and there was no negotiating about it. Like, this promise had been made, and I wasn't going to go back on that, even though I was really scared. So I climbed the 5 flights of stairs to the top of the water slide, and I held on to that handrail, and I sat there for a minute and just thought about what it's going to be like when I let go. I had never been on a water slide before. Like, this was the first time ever. And then I let go. I went down the water slide. I did something that scared me because I made a promise to myself that I would do it because I thought it was going to be in my best interest, and I just had to get over the fear. And so I did something that scared me, and I had the time of my life as a 6-year-old. When I was 6 years old, I first realized the power of making a promise to yourself, and also how much fun you can have when you face your fears. Recently, I was talking to my mentor who pointed out to me that I needed to start keeping my word to myself because I was making a million excuses for not getting stuff done because I was afraid of putting myself out there and being vulnerable. And I think that happens to a lot of us, that we make excuses to ourselves out of fear, and we don't even realize that it's a fear-based excuse. When she pointed this out to me, it immediately brought me back to the point in time in my life when I was a 6-year-old and I first made a promise to myself and kept it. Now, I had kept my word to myself until well into my early adult life, and then somehow something happened, and I started making excuses for not following through, facing my fears, and doing what I actually wanted to do with my life. Now that I've realized this blind spot that I haven't been keeping my word to myself, and that's been causing me to hesitate on moving forward to reach my goals, I've decided to get way back on track in keeping my word to myself. In my experience, there are 2 perspective changes that you can make that will help you to conquer any fear. Number 1, you have to decide if the thing that you want is worth taking a risk for. Number 2, you need to make a promise to yourself that you will make that happen, and then you need to honor your personal integrity and keep that promise. Whatever that goal or dream is for you, whether it's making a career change to a job that makes you happy, or traveling, becoming more social, or finding a romantic relationship that fulfills you, whatever it happens to be, you need to make the decision that it's worth taking a risk for, and then honor your personal integrity and make a promise to yourself that you'll make that happen. If you ever feel extremely unmotivated, it could be because you've been weakening your personal integrity by not keeping your word to yourself and not taking committed steps towards making the changes you want to see in your life. When you're having trouble committing to something that you want, it's either because deep down you don't actually want it, and instead you're chasing after some other sort of validation that you subconsciously associate with that desire, or deep down you really do want it, but you have a lot of conscious or subconscious fear surrounding that goal or desire. A lot of people are afraid of failure, being judged, or being visible. But the truth is, anything that you want in this life takes work, and you have to take a risk. So you can play it safe and guard yourself from ever getting hurt, or you can take a risk and actually put yourself out there and go after creating the life that you really want. Create a life you're proud of and excited about. If you're watching this video, you're obviously researching ways to conquer your fears, so there's got to be something big in your life that you want to go for that you're having some hesitations about. So I encourage you, make the decision that if it's something you want badly enough, that you're going to push through and make it happen. Follow through on all of the steps. Don't let fear get in the way of you following through to the very end of achieving your goal. I'm Alexa Graves. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and don't be shy to leave a comment in the section below. I love connecting with people who watch my videos. Thanks for watching. I post a new video every Thursday, so I look forward to seeing you all then.